So Netflix have released a new movie in the past. They tend to get their bad ones out in January. And have they done that in this case? Well, here's my review of Outside the Wire. In the near future, a drone pilot sent into a war zone finds himself paired with a top secret android officer on a mission to stop a nuclear attack. So from that description, that synopsis, it does sound a lot like pretty generic futuristic sci-fi movie. Now before I get into my pros and cons, if you would like and subscribe, that would really mean a lot, as I'm doing a lot more videos this year. But without me holding you back even more, let's get into my review of Outside the Wire. I'll give this movie credit. It starts out with an action scene which does introduce us to these futuristic robot soldiers called, I believe they're called Gumps. I'm just going off memory, but I thought they looked pretty cool. I don't know if people have seen, but the prototypes for robots these days, they've come a long way. You know, they're still nowhere near this quality where they can be deployed into war, but they do resemble the same look, and I feel like that was done deliberately. You know, the things that they can do from what I've seen in videos is like pick up things, put them down, walk, take commands, all that, etc. So I could definitely see this happening with these robots. They do feel like quite realistic for the future because that's the look that they have now, and they already do follow some commands. So I think they nailed those things right.Ey're not really in it too much. They're not in it as much as I thought they would, but from what we got, that was pretty cool. When a pros list is ending that soon and it's that short, you know the movie is not going to be great then. And that's what I can say about this. Looking at the trailers before this, I was excited to see it because it could either be quite a cool new thing, you know, it wasn't going to be groundbreaking. It would just be a cool sci-fi action movie which you can just kind of turn off your brain and watch. Or it could be quite boring. And it meets the latter, but to the extent which I didn't think it would be this boring. Even if the movie was poor, which I thought it probably will be, I thought maybe it would have some cool action and some likeable characters. No, it didn't even do that. I was really disappointed with the action. I thought it was quite mediocre. For Netflix movies, we have been treated to some good things, like with Extraction last year. So I was expecting maybe not to that quality, but some cool stuff with that, especially set in like this war kind of period in the future. But I was really disappointed with the action, and the characters themselves, they were so bland. And that does include Anthony Mackie, who in everything I've watched has always been this really entertaining and likable character because he has that sort of energy about him and he just brings life to the character he always plays. But Outside the Wire doesn't give him any wiggle room to flex those muscles or make him a likable character. They do try force some jokes between the two main characters, but they feel really, really poor, and just the characters overall are really underwhelming. Not only is Anthony Mackie's character Leo poorly written, but also every character is kind of poorly written, and that goes for the things everyone says as well. I'd expect a better script for a Netflix movie, especially for one which has an ambitious plot like this. None of the characters are actually likable, and the way they're written, you don't care about any of them, you don't care if they succeed, and the choices they make in this movie, they're so cliche and quite predictable, if I'm being honest. It tries a last effort to drag in the audience's attention towards the end with some decisions they make, but it was really hard for us to care. If a movie like this, where it's just going to be an action, sci-fi, straightforward ride, if it doesn't drag you in from the beginning, then it's going to be hard to actually care about anything that goes on, even at the end. And unfortunately that's what happened here. Another miss in terms of sci-fi movies for Netflix, although having the potential to be similar to Terminator, obviously it's not going to be a masterpiece like some of those Terminator movies could have resembled, like maybe the Terminator Salvation, Genesis, etc. But it can't even do that right. The end product is extremely dull, predictable and boring. I'm quite annoyed about that because I thought this could be a solid, fun start to the year with this movie. If you've seen my reviews for the other two 2021 movies I've reviewed, Batman Soul of the Dragon and Locked Down, you'd see that they weren't given great scores, and I said in my last movie review that my average mark is around 66 or 65%. Neither of those movies had met that, and I can confirm that this is another one which is well below that. I'm going to give, in terms of score, Outside the Wire a 49%. So, I know January movies aren't meant to be great, but I thought maybe one would at least be average. But we're gonna have to wait a little longer for that. As I mentioned, please like and subscribe. I'm really trying to push this year, but just getting those likes, those comments, those subs, they really do motivate me more. Even though I'll still upload videos if I get like 2 views on a video, I still would like to see some of the hard work pay off. It would really mean a lot if you did show your support. But anyways, in the comments, let me know what you thought of Outside the Wire. What score would you give it out of 10? Or 100 if you're doing percentages like me. Just to clarify, I really won't recommend this. If you are looking for like an out the window action movie with no logic in it, there are a lot better ones. And even those ones aren't even great movies, so that says a lot about this one. But anyways, I'll be back with some videos in the next coming days related to a certain video game which is coming out soon. So, hope to see you in that, and take care.